Emily here to discuss whether or not you can really trust the company I call the Big Z. We'll find out. I've got the proof. Are they accurate? The short answer is we need to look at what is going on. I did a lot of screenshots. The properties I'm featuring here are only a few of all the screenshots I've collected. So before listing, they're giving this a value, you can see here, of almost $300,000. After listing, it went down to $228,000 because they listed it at $220 or $215, something like that. Then it sold at $200,000. They did, you can see here, they did adjust the price, sold at $200,000. And now Zillow came back with their oops fix, giving it a bit under $200,000. So we went from almost $300,000 down to less than $200,000. Obviously, all they're doing is following the data that the agents are putting into the MLS. Here's another one. Before listing, they're giving this about $270,000. Then, after listing, $342,000, almost $343,000, magic. And what it sold for was $300,000. On the day it sold, they were giving this value here, $291,000, as their estimate. On the day of closing, I don't know where they got that number from, because they could have just looked up the MLS data. And now we have their oops fix. After closing, they come back and say it's about $302,000. By the way, if you were a seller and you believed them, you would have shorted yourself by 30 grand. Here's another one before the sale. They're giving this about $243,000. What they didn't know was that this was a very dated property with a lot of very old things going on with the structure. It sold for $227,500. And here's the oops fix. They came back and did it's about $234,000. I don't think we need more examples. I have them if you want to see them. Here's another question. Should you use the Z to find an agent? You have to understand how Zillow operates. They make the agents pay to be featured. In other words, they pay to have their face up there. They pay to get leads. Now, this person whose face you find on there, they might be a good agent. They might not. I say that it could go either way because I know particularly one agent who is good, who is featured on there. They pay to be on there. And as a listing agent, I had a bad experience with a different agent who paid to be on there. They were acting as the buyer's agent, and due to their behavior, my sellers lost out on getting a very good offer. So I know that it can go either way. Finally, the aim of Zillow and many of these other big companies driven by Wall Street is monopoly. This is why I have personally never given them a dime. I don't want them to have the monopoly, because you know what monopolies do. So to conclude, it is a big name, but really, why bother with them? You're not going to get accurate data. And that's it for now. This is Emily Matthews here to help you with all your real estate needs. Don't forget to subscribe. It's the little icon with my head on it. Have a wonderful day.